Okay. 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Well, hide the Hasperat and warm up the impulse engines because we are back. It's Monday night. It's 7 p.m. Pacific and it's 10 p.m. Eastern. And it's Mission Log Live. I'm Norman Lau, if you haven't seen me before, but I think you have. And you know what? We're back in business because business is good, as the saying goes. It's been a while since we've had our Mission Log Live. It's actually been since somewhere in March. I haven't actually looked that up, but I know it's been somewhere in March. And we are here for the live show. We're actually just here to get everyone psyched up for a long line of Mission Log Lives that are coming up. We have season 2 of Lower Decks that's going to be coming up. We have Star Trek Las Vegas that's going to be coming up. We have a lot of fantastic Star Trek that's going to be coming up. And to celebrate that with me and to get everyone's engines revved up, we have Holly Amos back in the chair. Hey, Holly, how are you doing?
Hi. I'm not in a chair. I'm on a couch. But same.
Oh, the illusion is broken.
No, I'm not on a couch. What are you talking about? I'm on the bridge. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be here with everybody in the chat. The chat is lighting up like a Christmas tree or a warp core breach, however you want to take it.
Christmas tree is what Chakotay would say. My dad is saying hi, Dad.
Hey, hey, Bob. Bob was first in the comments.
He was always. Right? He's probably watching us on the big screen TV in their living room as well.
Well, let's take a look at who followed after Bob. Say, Bob, as the kids do it on the internet, when you make sure you're first, you say first. Then everyone else is jealous. And they're like, no, I was first. But Bob was first. Hello to Phil. Phil's here. Carlos. Someone named John Champion. He's here in spirit and on chat. Yeah, probably with his feet kicked up, hanging out somewhere, having fun. We have an invasion of Pauls. So we have 3 Pauls here. The Paul Fecta has joined us, which is fantastic. Love having the Paul Fecta here with us. David Takechi. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Julie here, not Paul, just because she wrote that, which is also funny. And wow.
Yay, Nick's here.
There's Holly Amos. She's here and in chat.
Oh, I said hi in chat.
Multitasking.
Nick is here. He is from Star Trek Online at Cryptic Studios. Hi, Nick. Yay.
Welcome, Nick. Peter, John, Arminio, sir. Welcome to have you. Welcome to have me. I'm so excited to be. I'm getting tongue-tied, because it's live without a net is an interesting thing when you're doing these kind of shows, because sometimes you know exactly what you're going to say, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get excited, and sometimes you get even more excited. I'm like beyond excited because of what we're going to talk about today, and I'm also like highly overcaffeinated.
Is that because this is is this the first show that you've done when you've lived on the East Coast?
It is. Well, the first Mission Log Live since on the East Coast. Actually, you know what? People may not know this, but since March of this year, I've moved from Southern California to Gainesville, Florida. So if you hear anything about like Florida Man and you don't see pictures, it may or may not be me. So I don't want anyone to be confused if you don't see a picture of that Florida man doing Florida things, because it's a thing. Like Florida people things are a thing, right? I can't get too much more descriptive than that, or else it may indict me in some way. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you are very late then. This is your first time working the show at 10 p.m. So don't fall asleep.
Oh, I won't. That's why I'm overcaffeinated. I have my Janeway cup with me. There's coffee in this nebula for sure. Definitely in this cup.
Do you really have coffee?
Iced coffee. Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I thought that was a lie. I have alcohol.
No, I mean, I would admit, I'd be drinking my whiskey. Like the fans on Patreon that watch the Patreon live stuff that we do on our Discord, they've seen me. Actually, people have actually seen me on the live show for the podcast. They've seen me with my whiskey tumbler, so they know when, and they can hear when too. That's why when I'm on the whiskey thing, I'm a little less tuned up, but now I'm on the caffeine thing. Now I'm highly tuned up.
I'm just drinking beer, so I should be fine. Beer doesn't really mess with me.
So if anyone wants to call in, make sure that you click on the Zoom meeting link or use the one tap from your smartphone or give us a ring at 669-900-6833. That's 669-900-6833. Earl is standing by to take your calls. And we want to hear from you because we have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot of fun subjects to talk about, but a couple things that we want to bring up before we jump into the topics for today. Next week on Mission Log Live, we're going to have the voice of Shax himself, Fred Tatasciore. I pronounced that right. I think I said that right.
I hope
right?
so. And I was going to let you pronounce it because I think I've only ever read his name. By the way, he's not just that character from Lower Decks. He's also done some voices of Klingons too in some of the films.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
He's a hardcore voiceover artist. So he was actually coached by Mark Okrand himself.
Ooh, that's
exciting.
The Klingon linguist.
Yes, the literal what I guess you would say that he's the inventor of the Klingon language. If I can get geeky here for a moment, trivia.
Go for it. Do it.
So we actually don't hear. I think I've said this before on the show. We actually don't hear the Klingon language at all in the original series. The first time we hear it is in the motion picture, but it's gibberish. Mm-hmm. It's gibberish that was sort of put together by Jimmy Doohan. And then in Star Trek 3, because Leonard Nimoy directed it, he wanted it to be a fleshed out language. That's when Mark got hired, but he sort of based it on the guttural noises that Doohan had come up with. So the fleshed out language is Mark.
Because Mark Leonard, he just said, "Dah," like that. It just kind of like cleared his throat. He's like, "Mach." Fire, or something. But like that.
It was very, guttural, like German-ish, that sort of thing. So, they played off of that. But what he says, it's gibberish. It's not actually like what became the fleshed out language.
For mostly in Next Generation and forward, right?
Yes. Well, from Star Trek 3 forward, and that was because Leonard Nimoy, being Leonard Nimoy, wanted it to be an actual language.
Oh, it makes sense. That's
less Leonard Nimoy.
You got all the cultural, attachments going on with the Klingons in Star Trek 3. You got the nice like duster that Krug wore. You had the Klingon armor, a little bit more refined in Star Trek the motion picture, that kind of stuff. Disruptors and all that. That's awesome.
Okay, so let's make geekiness.
And Nick calls you out, nerd.
Okay.
like in Life Simpsons, nerd, right? So yes, we're gonna have Fred on the show next week, and then this week on Mission Log Live. This week on Mission Log on the podcast, we are going to be talking the finale of season 6 for Deep Space Nine: Tears of the Prophets.
It's a very sad episode.
Things happen in that episode.
Things happen.
Well, I don't want to steal my own thunder. I want people to listen to the show. But I think that a lot of people who know the show or have watched Deep Space Nine or have kind of like been, in the fabric and the social media space know a big thing happens in that episode. And we'll talk about that on the podcast. And you'll hear that drop this Thursday on Mission Log. So make sure that you have your podcast catcher set up to catch that. So tonight we're going to be doing some fun topics. We're going to be talking about Lower Decks Season 2, which premieres on August 12th.
Hey.
Yes. But at the same time that Lower Decks drops, Star Trek Las Vegas is going to be happening August 12th through August 15th, I believe.
I'm glad you know those. No, that doesn't sound... Well, maybe. I don't know. Full disclosure, guys, I'm not going to Las Vegas this year.
Oh, we'll miss you.
It's it's a lot going on in the world, and I don't think it's a secret that show is now unlicensed. It's actually technically called the 55-year mission now, and I am very much looking forward to Chicago next year, which is the next official event. But yes, I am not attending Las Vegas this year.
I've been corrected in chat. David Takechi, thank you so much. August 11th through August 15th.
That sounds right. Because I was like, you said the dates, and I was like, I feel like you're off by a day because it's usually 4 or 5 days. So
I'm usually off by a day anyway. I could have sworn that the day was Tuesday. I don't know why. Again, I think the caffeine is making me time travel and so many different ways. But yes, August 11th through August 15th, that's going to be Star Trek Creation Con in Las Vegas. John and I will be there. Mission Log Live will be representing the Roddenberry Podcast Network. So stop by, say hi, buy me a drink or two or several. And I'll buy you some. Yeah.
Buy several drinks. Buy several drinks.
Buy all the drinks. We're going to have a lot of fun. I actually even may be investing in a smoking jacket and bringing some premium cigars because I do that kind of thing.
Is it going to be like, can it be like Data's smoking jacket when he's Sherlock Holmes?
It could be. It very
like
well could be.
Quilted maroon. It's very pretty.
I'll have to look on Amazon and see what I can get because it just popped into my head that I needed something like that. But let's talk about Lower Decks Season 2. The topic for Lower Decks Season 2 is, did you like what was happening in Season 1? Did it meet your expectations? This is for everybody out there. Did it meet your expectations? What did you like? What did you dislike? And what do you want to see in Season 2? What do you want to see more of, less of? So think about those kind of answers when you're calling into Earl, or you can put him in the chat. Holly, what are you looking forward to in Season 2?
More of the same. I loved the first season. I was so excited that there was going to be something that was a little bit sillier, but that was still considered canon. Mm-hmm. I love all of the references. I know that, for more like armchair fans, like they might not understand some of the references, but you can still understand like what's going on in the entirety of the episode even without those references. The last episode of the first season, I watched that 3 or 4 times rapid fire. It was so good. All the references, I still will just endlessly laugh at that episode. So I want more of the same.
I'm wondering if Mike McMahon has taken kind of like an aggregate of like all of the feedback that has come from the fans and from social media, and if that's influenced him in any way in crafting like what he thinks he should bring to this season. Do you think that's something that's on his mind?
I suspect, yes. Full disclosure, I know Mike. Mike actually, and I know that he pays close attention to Twitter too. Mike actually got his start like with the Star Trek brand because he was running a season 8 TNG parody Twitter account. And then CBS made a deal with him to write a book, which became a book called Warped, which I helped with. And then that led into him getting the Lower Decks when he pitched it to CBS. So I know that he pays close attention to Twitter. And he is a huge fan and has been for like the entirety of his life. So I do think that, coming from a fan standpoint, that he probably is taking into consideration what other fans are saying, what they want more of, and what they maybe disliked. There was very little that I disliked. I guess I'm easy to please.
Yeah, I did buy the Steelbook version of that, and I haven't had a chance to like look at it yet. But what I liked about it, once it settled in, I really liked where like they actually had really good character progression for Mariner and Boimler. Mm-hmm. Well, actually for all the characters, but those two in particular for me. So I always thought it was just going to be just kind of like these one-off kind of a silly, very entertaining, very energetic shows. But there was a really nice through line, for the majority of the characters on the show, which I really liked. And they're fun. They're easily digestible episodes. Oddly enough, they actually do have morals, meanings, and messages. When you're
right. That's the other thing that I think a lot of people felt like maybe would go missing in an animated show. I mean, I don't know why the animated series back in the 70s, although, obviously other people are in charge of the franchise now, but even the animated series in the 70s still had some really great messages that went along the lines of the live shows. So I was not surprised at all that there was, morals and messages that we're used to in the live productions.
I just want to see Mariner say again, so ethical. I died when I saw that the thirst was real. Right. Yeah. But
I'm also like, I don't know if anybody watches The Boys that Quaid is in, mm-hmm. but I watched that right after and I love him so much.
Yeah, he's actually my favorite part. I thought Carl Urban would be my favorite part of The Boys, but it was Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid is fantastic. And he fully admitted that he wasn't really a fan of Star Trek. And now he's a huge fan of Star Trek because he's been involved with it. wearing his little hat and shirts. Star Trek.
Converted.
Yeah.
Converted through work. It's kind of funny. I'm going to read a couple of the responses here for that question. So we have Phil Huffman says, same, more please, much like yourself, Holly.
Yeah.
Carlos Perez says, I loved watching it over and over, seeing different things every time.
Yeah.
I love that. Rediscovering just new things in something that you think that you know fairly well. Things that just pop up. John Cooley says, oh, I'm sorry. That's about John. I think
John Cooley from Anovos. Hi,
see.
John Cooley.
Alan Perry says, Lower Decks is my favorite new Trek. I'm with Holly on what needs to change. More and more. Let's see. Michael Northness says, cameos are fun, but I would like more backstory on the characters to build a new foundation. Do you think we're going to get that in season 2?
I think so. I think that the first season was a little bit of an experiment, right? Because we haven't had an animated series since the 70s. The animated series was 73, 74. So, I think they needed to know that it was doable before they really dive into these characters' backstories. So I think that's something that's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to get them something like contemporary just to get them going. And then you can start filling in certain things. I mean, we did see like a little bit of Mariner's backstory here and there.
Yeah,
like
her mom. That was a good reveal.
Yeah, and a flashback to Deep Space Nine, which was cool. I like seeing Mariner in the Deep Space Nine grays.
I got to rewatch it. I got to rewatch it before season 2 airs.
I did find John Cooley. So John Cooley says, I just want an episode of Lower Decks where they're stuck in the 2260s, quote unquote, those old scientists.
Yeah.
POS.
And you can do that. That's the beauty of the animated series, is that like you can do that and not have any of the issues that live shows have where, the actors age like normal people.
True enough. Yeah. All right, let's take some calls. We have the callers lining up hot and heavy here. So on board here we have Chris. What's happening, Chris? Pipe and mineral.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Look,
Norm,
he's
Holly.
in the Lower Decks.
I'm in the Cerritos bar with my adult beverage. If I can get it to not phase out of reality, maybe.
You have to hold it in front of your face.
There we go.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, my adult beverage.
God, everyone's adult beveraging. I'm so sad.
But no, great to see you guys. Excited to get back in the groove here as we, as you said, ramp up into what should be a very exciting summer. Yeah, I'm hyped for Lower Deck season 2. I really want more Tendi backstory. That's my wish list.
Okay.
Yeah.
People really love her. I've seen a lot of cosplays of her, and they're always super impressive.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, the whole idea of her being an Orion and like, how did she get here? And like, because the Orions have always been sort of like one note and almost stereotypical, and to see such an interesting character played so wonderfully by Noelle, it's like I want to learn more about her. So yeah, very excited for Lower Decks season 2. My other kind of like half joking, half serious wish list thing is that Alex Kurtzman keeps saying he wants to do a musical episode of Discovery. You should do a musical episode of Lower Decks. I think that's easier. That's an easier sell. Is like, that's the place to do it. So yes, Alex, if you're listening, do it on Lower Decks. We'll watch. It's fine.
I mean, he could do it on both. Is he saying that for Discovery because of all the people that are in Discovery that have literally been in musicals?
Yeah, that's part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, an animated. Let's just have all the shows have musicals. But that's because I did musical theater when I was a kid, and I would love that of all of the series. Sure.
So, Chris, are you having any nachos or perhaps a tostada? In the mess hall.
Not tonight. I think the good stuff. My other favorite like side character on Lower Decks. It's all about the paella, my guy. Okay, Dr. Miglio and the paella. That's where it's at. It's a beautiful metaphor, and it's also an excellent dish. Okay,
there's such good lines.
Completely forgot about that. I got to go back. Someone in the chat said, is there a steelbook? There's a steelbook of Lower Decks. Yes, there's a steelbook of Lower Decks. I know because I dropped it on my toe today, cleaning out my closet.
Why is it already in your closet? You should be rewatching it. Did I buy the steelbook? I don't know what I bought. I have it. I don't know which one I bought though.
I was putting together furniture today so I could put it premiere it like in the front part of my man bridge here. right? And then I had it. It was so beautiful and shiny and slippery that just slipped out of the stack of DVDs that I had. I had a box set of Enterprise that I had to put on there, my box set of Voyager, getting ready, and then Lower Decks was on top, and I turned really quickly, and it just kind of like slipped, and it fell and hit my toe. So that's a reminder. It was saying, you better watch me, like, soon, right? So what else is going on, Chris? Like, what else do you want to see on Lower Decks? Now, we've talked about Mariner, we've talked about Boimler, we've talked about Tendi. Now, but what about
You can talk about what you want on Discovery Season 4 or Prodigy as well.
Prodigy is intriguing. I'm mainly intrigued by Prodigy because the showrunners are the guys who did a Netflix show called Troll Hunters.
Hickmans!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Troll Hunters was really good. The first couple seasons starred the late beloved Anton as the lead, which is why I started watching it. But it's just a really good show. And so if they're behind it, I'm willing to give anything a shot, but I'm especially, I have confidence that these are the guys who are sort of in the chair, so to speak.
So big last question, Chris, before we let you go, because we have a lot of people lined up here. When am I going to see your patented trademarked headgear again?
Oh yeah, you're not wearing anything.
I know. Well, it's hard. You can't. This is my Papa Riker's Pizzeria shirt.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I do have that. I will try to break it out. I got to bring it to Vegas. It's getting even more topical. Dune is coming out this October. I'm on the pulse of the happening things, so it'll make an appearance. Don't you worry.
See, I'm down with the fact that Riker probably makes an excellent pizza, because he has the whole setup and stuff like that. I am not down with the whole bunny corn thing because I have bunnies, and I can't endorse that.
But do you truly know what a bunny corn is?
Well, it looks like a bunny, right?
He had like the leg of it on his counter. I thought when he was making it, it was some kind of animal. Yeah,
I can't do it. If he makes a really good margarita pizza, I am all down for it. All down. All right, buddy. So thanks for calling in. Good to see you. Good to see you as always on all of the video chats that we do. All right.
All right. Good seeing you guys. Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
All right, man. You too. All right. Who we have up next? We have Paul.
One of the Pauls.
And Paul, who do we have with us tonight?
Oh, this is our cat. This is the Scone.
The Scone?
The Scone.
That's literally the cat's name is the Scone?
He's Pumpkin Scone, actually.
Oh.
I wanted that to be part of his name. I wanted that to be on official paperwork.
I think it is, actually. My wife's a veterinarian, so he's had several names over time. He's a little squirmy tonight. It's awfully hot here. Who's going to be our next gen person on Lower Decks that we're going to see?
Who do you want to see?
Yeah, it's a good question. Who do you want to see?
I'm expecting Q, right? Weren't we sort of given that?
Yeah, that one's out there, though. I thought you were talking about who we might not know about.
Yeah,
it'd be cool. Maybe that's our segue into the musical. Maybe Q can snap his fingers and have everyone start singing and dancing.
And then you want Worf to be there singing.
Worf doing a ballet number with Gates. That would be hilarious.
I only do opera.
Klingon opera.
with Gates McFadden, in toe shoes, and Curtis doing yoga in front of him or something.
Oh my God! Can you see Q forcing Worf to do high step can stuff with Gates?
They would no, they're tear a muscle.
That would kill it. That would just no on the animated on.
I still feel like that should be in the animated. They can't kick that high. They're gonna
oh my
pull
God,
hamstring.
I like the musical idea. I give that 2 thumbs up with Gates and Worf. Let's see what else I got in here. I just want an episode where I don't have to watch it twice to hear it because I turned it on last night just to sort of catch up. Wow, is it fast?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think they speed everybody up. It's good Lord, it's crazy fast. So
that is a style though. If you watch some other of Mike's stuff, that's sort of a style. I also feel like that's sort of a generalized style of a lot of animated shows. I'm a big fan of Bob's Burgers, and I feel like they speak really quickly too. I mean, you could make the excuse it's a half-hour show instead of an hour, and they just have to shove everything in. But I feel like that's just an animated style right now.
Yeah, I get it, but wow.
Are you really upset that you have to watch it twice though?
Oh no, I watched it 3-4 times. I mean, it is hilarious because you pick up so much, and in the background, I really want the shoes with the logo. So when I walk in the mud, I leave the Trek logo up over. We got to have those out at at least by Chicago, and that's my last point. Have you really looked at the website of Reed Pop for that Chicago Con? I've seen nothing on.
So having worked on officially licensed shows, they're still really far out. There's a lot of stuff that can't be finalized, and I think that COVID is obviously complicating that. Repop has done a Star Trek show. They did Missions New York in 2016, just right before the 50th anniversary. So it was in early September. So they know what they're doing. I can vouch for them.
Yeah. No, I love Reed Pop. I've been to a lot of their shows. C2E2 and Seattle are excellent, just excellent shows. But I think it's a little bit too early for them to have anything up on the website. I'm not surprised. Yeah, they have just Wesley Crusher, right? He's there as their spokesperson, and he's going to be fantastic. So I would expect to see a guest by now. But anyway, that's everything I got. Let's let Alan chime in. It's great to see you, Holly.
Yay! Good to see you too. I'm glad that you're going to Chicago, so I will see you in Chicago.
Yeah, and I'll be in Vegas too to see Norman to buy him several drinks, I think.
Excellent.
Cat says hello to bunnies. No bunny corn here either.
Yay! Good to see you, Paul. Thanks for calling in, my friend. All right, take care. Callers are hot and heavy. Coming in with Alan.
Alan's in the lower decks too.
Yeah, love it.
I feel like I've been here for like 6 months. I think this is how I left you guys too.
Probably. I mean, listen, the animated series lends well to Zoom backgrounds.
It's nice. It's clear. You get all the nice. It pops well.
So, Alan, is that a Zeppelin Houses of the Holy shirt? I can't see it.
It's the Target US 77 tour.
Nice.
Which it's if it were real, it would be old as me, but I've had it for like 2 weeks. So
shout out to my mom, who's a big Led Zeppelin fan, and I'm sure appreciates your shirt.
I do enjoy Led Zeppelin. That's a little it's good stuff. So I'm not going to complain. I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't actually like them too, but it is sadly Target.
So
you got a cool shirt at Target. Holly, you said that your shirt comes from Kohl's.
Yeah, so Kohl's, man, I've had a Kohl's credit card since I was like 17 years old. Like my mom put me on her account, and I love Kohl's, even though it's, I don't know, some of my friends make fun of me. But Kohl's has a lot of officially licensed Star Trek stuff, and a lot of it is exclusive to them. So this is a Women of Star Trek Razorback.
Dig it.
And it's fun. I have a few things from Kohl's. They got some nice designs out of the licensing department. So
I got to do more department store shopping.
I did not see Star Trek stuff when I went there, so I will have to make a.
Most of it is online. They don't have a lot of stuff in store, which doesn't surprise me. So go to the website. Go to Kohl's.com.
So Carlos in the chat goes off to Kohl's. There you go.
Yeah, can we? Kohl's sponsor us? I'm plugging them right now.
Let us know what you find.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to in season 2 of Lower Decks, or any of the other shows that are coming up? Because I know. I mean, by your background, obviously you're a big Lower Decks.
I feel oddly kind of a little possessive about this show in a way, because this is what got me to subscribe. I hadn't been a CBS / Paramount Plus subscriber until this came around, and it just happened to premiere right when they were doing like their free month promotion, and I was like, well, maybe in some small way, some part of the algorithm will be like, oh, he signed up for this. Maybe we should, if enough people did that, that would sort of indicate interest in the show. Because I figured, there were probably a lot of Trekkies who did sign up for Discovery when it first started up and did sign up for Picard. So I was like, well, I guess I get to be the Lower Decks guy. But yeah, I loved it. I loved the comedy. I loved the irreverent aspect of it, but it did feel like real Trek. I am looking forward I just rewatched the promo clip before you guys started tonight, just so I could sort of try to parse through some of the stuff. And Ambo Jitsu looks to there looks to be a little bit of that going on.
Yeah.
I saw there was a Mugato.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're gonna be hurting for Easter eggs coming through.
Yeah, I mean, even that, I sort of was like, should I watch this in slow motion? There's so many references just in the preview.
Yeah. Yeah, it does sort of fly by. Starting off with, I think the first line was like, ready for the sci-fi? And I was like, yes, I am. Let's go.
I think that maybe at maybe in Chicago, I'll run an Ambu Jitsu class, because that's pretty much like glorified staff fighting, and I've trained in bow staff fighting, so that could be super fun. Either that or a batleth class, because I know people that actually fight with batleths in sword fighting training. They'll pull one out. I'm like, no, just don't do it.
You got to invent an illegal move just to pull it on people to put them in their place.
Oh, it's the leg sweep move.
Yeah,
because it's so dishonorable.
Mm-hmm.
Not for me.
I mean, that's how I won in Street Fighter. So just down D, down D, down D.
Who's your fighter in Street Fighter?
I was probably, it's been a while, but I was probably a Blanca guy, and then maybe probably
dude, the leg sweep skill. It's leg sweep. It's leg sweep, leg sweep. It's you got to charge up the leg sweep, go for the sonic boom. You got to play Guile that way.
Yeah. No, you guys are both wrong.
Why?
E Honda, you just hug everybody to death. Just bear hug everybody to death.
I love it when I get hugged by E Honda. I'm just like, I'm getting killed with kindness.
This is not about Star Trek anymore.
Right.
to be fair, I was actually good at Tekken, so that's a completely different animal.
All right, I'm wrangling you. I'm giving you the get back to Star Trek hook.
All right.
All right.
That was my fault. That was my fault.
No. We've covered T-shirts and video games. I feel like I'm back in college. This is great. But yeah, I'm interested to see how it's going to work, splitting up Boimler from the rest of the cast. It obviously ended with, the preview ended with him on the Titan with Riker and his cavalcade of jazz puns, which don't
in warp 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah,
God.
I'm gonna try to see how that fits into my tableau. But I gotta say too that I think when we were talking about this at the end of the season, I was like, I want to say that I was pushing hard for Pac-led War.
Oh, okay.
But we'll have to see if that comes to fruition. That seemed like an obvious direction. Like, these are now your big bads.
The Pac-leds.
Yes.
They've come so far.
That episode, that's par for the course, but also I kind of out of left field too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, they're real. They're a real threat now.
That's crazy.
Sorry, water.
Oh, it's not an adult beverage.
No.
You broke the chain.
Yeah, sorry.
And for that, you must die.
Ah.
Or at least get cut off. Because we actually have to get on to other callers, Alan.
No
Sorry
worries.
to do that to you. All right, but it's good seeing you. Good seeing you again.
It is always good to see you guys. And, here's for a good season.
Yay.
Here's hoping. And I'm sure we're going to get a great one.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Alan. Thanks for calling in, my friend.
Bye-bye.
All right. Before we get into David Tketch is our next caller. I just want to let everyone know about a special promotion that we're going to be running here on Mission Log Live. So pay attention, because there will be a quiz, I think. So season 3 of Star Trek Discovery is now on Blu-ray, DVD, and limited edition Steelbook for all you Steelbook fans out there. So the must-have collection features are all 13 episodes and also includes over 2 hours of special features, including deleted scenes, behind-the-scenes featurettes, cast interviews, and a gag reel. I love gag reels.
I love
Don't you
gag reels too. Yes, I love gag reels.
Is it weird seeing them break and step out of character, or do you look forward to something like that every once in a while on a gag
No,
reel?
I look forward to that.
Yeah,
I'll troll YouTube for gag reels.
Yeah, I love gag reels. So
I don't have to troll YouTube if I have the Blu-ray though.
True enough. And remember, Steelbook 2 for all you Steelbook fans out there. There are many in the chat room. Lower Decks is on Steelbook. Just remember that too. So you can own Star Trek Discovery Season 3 on Blu-ray and DVD now from CBS and Paramount Home Entertainment. Now, we have a contest that's going to be happening. You can email contest@roddenberry.com with the secret password in the subject line, and that secret password is USS Nog. That's the only way to qualify to win a Star Trek Discovery Season 3 on Blu-ray. So remember, the email is contest@roddenberry.com, and put this in the subject line of your email, the secret password USS Nog. The contest runs until the 29th.
So you got 10 days.
Month. Yes. So do it now. Do it now. USS Nog in the subject line. Okay. That's all of our housekeeping for this half of the show. On to David Duquesne, who's looking very studious, by the way, ish.
He's reading the Klingon dictionary.
Oh,
Are you?
hello.
Hello, sir, and welcome to Masterpiece Theater. I'm your host,
Yeah.
Norman Lau.
It's times like these, with weather like this, when I can use some nosvag.
Nosva.
Yes, that there actually is a word for deodorant in Klingon.
Yeah. You guys know that I was in an escape room once, and it was like a geeky escape room, and one of the things was like that we had to decipher was Klingon, and there was that book was in the room, and I was like, I don't need it.
Wow, that's really impressive. I have to use it.
My team won because we did it faster than everybody else.
Very good.
I remember seeing that book like in the Walden books and the B. Daltons of yore when that came out. I was like piled like with like the two other Star Trek books they had, like the Rick Sternbach, Mike Okuda, Maroon Technical Manual, and something else like Mr. Scott's Guide to the Enterprise. Right? They were all dog-eared. Like they never had like any mint copies. They were always like read through, bent corners.
My parents gave me the original series compendum, and I have it. It's right next to me actually, and it's beat up too.
Yeah.
It's when you mentioned Mark Okran, who actually is the author of this.
He is. And that's 1984, 83, 84.
Pretty old, yeah. Pretty old.
Yeah.
In any case, I've returned back to it every so often, and it's fun. It's fun to learn a new language, even though, I may not use it too much. So, right.
You never know when you're going to have to win a panic room or escape room challenge.
That's true. I also say bless you in Klingon to people because it's funner than saying bless you in English.
Can I put you on the spot? You probably aren't on the spot if I asked you what's bless you in Klingon.
Du hosmorjage.
Oh, she's advanced level.
Yep.
I'm not as advanced as some, obviously, not Mark Okran level, but even, some of the actors are above me now because they've had so much time with the language. But yeah, du hosmorjage is bless you in Klingon.
Du hosmorjage.
Like that scene in Star Trek 6, if you recall, and it's Uhura, it's Scotty on the bridge, and they're trying to talk to that Klingon station.
Yeah, and she has
yeah.
And I love how they slip in that line. It's like, you cannot use the universal translator or will be noticed.
We are condemning supplies and things. It's a cool language, I'll have to say. But anyway, I was fiddling with trying to join, and I didn't even really catch. Why did you mention Mark Ron? Are you going to have him a guest on the show? Or?
Oh, no, the actor who, Norman, you have to say his name again because I'll mess it up.
Fred Tatasciore.
Yeah. He's Jax on Lower Decks, but he also did some Klingon voiceover for the films. And he was coached by Mark himself.
Oh, okay.
That's what that conversation was.
Cool.
The only thing I know is tak ba, tak be.
No, kapla and nukne.
I know, but you have to listen to Shakespeare in the original Klingon. It's the only way. Yeah. hijacked by Klingon. All right, Dave. So Lower Decks season 2. What are you looking for?
Well, I really have to do rewatch. It's like everybody was saying. I was thinking about just typing it in and not calling in, but it went by so fast the first season. Everything was just so rapid, and I need to reabsorb that and see if any of that's going to play into second season. I'm looking forward to some original stuff. I know that we're going to have a lot of the references, the things like the Mugato that we saw in the preview, I think, and the Ambu Jitsu that we saw. That's all very cool, but it's really cool to see original stories, and I know that they're probably thinking up some of that stuff, whether it be the morals, meanings, and messages that you guys talk about, or just something that advances their character. Right?
Anything off the top of your head that you specifically want to see? If you had kind of like a wish list,
I'd like to see more of. I know that it's about Lower Decks and this ship, but I'd like to see where is the Federation at this point. So I think we're going to see that hopefully with the Titan. What's going on? I think we're somewhere between Next Gen and maybe the first part of Picard.
Yeah. Yes.
79.
Yes.
So how did we get there? There's so much that I've developed as headcanon. I'd like to see that kind of stuff. But like I said, stories. I know there's going to be a lot of comedy. I think it's just a great warm up to some of the bigger stories of the live action shows, especially with comedy and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think that's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, is there anything specific that you can think of? Because there's so many references that they have. I mean, I can't think of anything.
Were you a fan of it when you originally saw, say, like the first couple episodes, or did it have to grow on you?
You mean Lower Decks?
Yeah.
It definitely had to grow on me because I'm not much of an animation guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I did enjoy it because there was always something new about it. Peppered in with some of the references to the original Next Generation show.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Looking forward to it. Other than that, we'll just see how it goes. I know that the last time they did a lot of their voiceovers in like their closet at their house or something.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see how that, how things have changed, how that creatively pans out. So I think they just did a great job at that, at doing something, especially during a time in which, production was tactically challenging. So
I think when we were doing the interview with Mike, he said that they all had a very specific kit that was sent to them. Like everything was, I guess, pre-programmed and all the parameters were set. So all they had to do was just kind of turn everything on so that everything that was, you had the kind of quality that you needed for the fidelity that they had to record to. But yeah, it's got to be challenging when you don't have that kind of energy, like being in the studio, either like playing off of different voice actors or just being like in the office, so to speak. Because sometimes that actually does add like a little bit to the enthusiasm and you get a little bit more out of the performances. So maybe being at home, where there are a little bit more distractions, or, you could say like, okay, finally, like the kids are to bed. I can go to my studio and record, but I'm exhausted, but I still have to bring the energy up because the energy in Lower Decks, especially in the voice acting, it's top notch. You just feel like at least the voice actors feel like they're on as much caffeine as I am.
I feel like most of the voice actors just in general are pretty high energy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure that they have to
Jack
turn in
Quaid,
line after
Jack
line.
Quaid is like at a 15 at all times.
Who passed 11? This dial goes all the way to 15. That's the top number.
He's always dialed up.
Even I guess in The Boys, he's kind of dialed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like that's who he is as a person.
It's a weird thing. This, like, I don't know, maybe it's me, but he kind of looks like the studlier version of Pacey from Dawson's Creek.
I mean, I just think he looks like his dad. Jeans, man. Yeah. Jeans are a hell of a thing.
So that's Jerry O'Connell, right? Or is that the other guy?
Jack Quaid's best Boimler.
Oh, Boimler.
Boimler is Jack Quaid. His father is Dennis.
Yeah.
And,
right.
And if you know, now that you know that, when you see him, you're just going to see Dennis Quaid. And his mom's Meg Ryan. So
he's got good genes.
He's got good genes, yes.
Yeah. So maybe a return to Lower Decks season 1 would be in order before Lower Decks season 2.
Most definitely. I mean, we got to rewatch it. And I think there's just enough time here because the first episode comes out when we're at that convention, Norm. So
Yeah.
I probably won't even really watch it till I get home. I don't know. For me, I like to sit down and have a nice meal or, a nice glass of whatever while I enjoy it. So,
I mean, for all we know, they might have a special showing or whether at the convention. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
true.
know.
That's true. So maybe definitely rewatching it before the visit there is a good idea. Other than that, I think we've got a chance to see now. They're kind of split up. Some of them are on one ship, some of them are on another. So I'm a real big ship guy, and I'd love to see some of those things. I don't know.
Would you?
I'm excited to see more of the Titan because we heard a lot about the Titan in the books, but we haven't seen a lot of the Titan.
Particularly because I have the Titan in the game and I haven't played it yet, so I kind of want to see what it's all about, how it moves, how the animators move it. I'm just kind of a nerd like that when it comes to ships, and I think you and John know that.
Yeah.
So, so there's an opportunity to see that, and I think you said somebody from Star Trek Online's in the chat, so I just kind of called out that I just finished my Rise of Dailies right before this. So.
Oh, crushing dailies, man! You're my man.
That's Nick. Nick is from Cryptic and works on Star Trek Online.
It's an MMO, so you have your dailies, right? So.
Of course. Yeah, that's the grind, baby. That's the grind. Right. Here's what I want. Here's what I want from this. Is what I want for you. I'm not sure if you're a fan of USS Cerritos, but this is what I want Eagle Moss to make. I want them to make the USS Cerritos. I think that's going to happen. But I also want them to make a very special stand. That's the alien that's sucking the nacelle. I love that alien at the opening.
The
credits.
one in the intro.
Yeah, where that alien is just sucking on the warp nacelle. But that's like a perfect stand. So you just pop that in there, right? It's a 2-for-1. It's a total win.
And that's how they do it. It's
a total win. Yeah, exactly. You need a special stand. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there.
Now that you mentioned that, there should be an Enterprise with a green hand.
Dude.
Holding up.
Dude, right?
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Where's Ben?
Oh, we got a vote of confidence here from John Cooley. Norm with a big yes. John, if you know people, let's make this happen. Also the green hand stand. That's what Eagle Moss should make. They should make custom stands for ships like that. Right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like at some point they might run out of ships, but also now that we have all this new material, maybe they won't. But yeah, that's green hand. That's also in at the end of Beyond in the credits, in the end credits, you see the green hand.
You know what they should also do? There's another idea. Also make a lucite block that you can put the Constitution class in and then pull it out at the same time. So it's a stand that's just a lucite block, but but the ship isn't trapped in there.
Yeah, paging Ben Robinson.
Yeah, for sure. All right, keep the ideas flowing. I want 10% off the top if they make those. All right, trademark here, Mission Log Live.
And I guess I'll get 10% off the price. Right?
Exactly, yeah. Put in the code green hand for your 10% off discount. Any final thoughts, Dave, before we let you go?
Not really. I think we're about to head into another, hopefully string of Star Trek like we did last year.
Yeah.
Lower Decks is always a great lead-in. I always enjoy that. I think there's a lot of comedy in there. There's a little bit of comedy in the other shows. I just did a rewatch at Trials and Tribulations, so I know there's a lot of comedy in all the Star Trek shows. But I think we need it, and I'm looking forward to that. Things have been a little bit too serious lately, so.
Yeah, I think that the comedy of Lower Decks came at the exact right time.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's, like missing in these shorter season formats, with Discovery and Picard. They have a very specific story to tell. We've talked about this on Mission Log on Patreon, and we've talked about how there isn't enough room sometimes in these condensed format series that have those padding episodes that can explore some more comedic elements or take characters out of their normal daily narrative routine, so to speak. So it's nice to have something like this where it's like, you know what? I just want something light. I want something that's easily digestible. I want something that's funny. I want something that I could just kind of just escape into, even more so than just my regular fandom, something that's completely askew, right, of something that you would normally think about in Star Trek, which is just high comedy, high jinks, high energy, everything fun, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think. A lot of highs in that. High bars. Yeah. Holly thinks I'm insane. Just dude, you got to lay off the coffee.
No, you're out of 15. Good for you, sir.
Oh, I am in it. Yeah, I dialed that up. I turn that into the highest number. Make 15 the highest number on my.
That's what we call a callback, folks.
Yeah.
You're in that good old Eastern time zone. You're doing really good, Norm. So
I'm surprised he's not
adjusting,
asleep.
you know?
I'm good for you.
yeah.
Oh, I have dailies to grind too. Speaking gaming here, I did literally the dumbest thing ever and started a new MMO, Final Fantasy 14. I am so enthralled with the story, and I have to grind dailies, to achieve certain things. I love, you love ships, and probably in Star Trek Online, you have to grind to get better ship designs. Now there's my Star Trek reference in my story for gaming. But yeah, and in all MMOs, it's all about the ships, or it's all about your mounts, right? It's all about the stuff that you just want to fly around in and look cool in.
I mean, I got to tell you, I love Star Trek Online, and I got started 5 years ago. I wasn't even one of the early adopters. I got started 5 or 6 years ago, actually. And so I'm already way up there, but I'll never start another MMO. It's just so draining, right? And so this one just happens to be the content I'm really into. So if you're just deciding on a whim to start another MMO, you're serious. You're an advanced guy. So
awesome. I'm an unemployed guy. So
fair enough.
In a sense, well, I'm more of a freelance guy. So I kind of use my time unwisely sometimes, but that's what MMOs do. I started the Star Trek Online game when it had that. Remember the very nice package that came in with that really nice brushed brass Delta. That was that's when I started.
I have that in my truck. I have that in the ceiling in my truck.
That thing was amazing. It was the Lux Collector's Edition. You also got 2 or 3 different ship skins. I think I crushed that thing for 3 or 4 months. I went to Lower Rear Admiral in my ship, the USS Valjean. Oh, it was so awesome. So awesome. And then Warcraft sucked me in again, as Warcraft usually does.
So you had the Valjean. Was it a Maquis Raider?
No, unfortunately, no. I always because you could name your ship and you could name its registry number. It was the USS Valjean and NCC 24601.
Ah, yes, of course.
Of course.
Right. Course, yes. I actually have the Maquis Raider, and I haven't really gotten into it yet. I have all these ships that I've built up, and I just haven't really played them yet. So I don't know. I'm going to take this laptop that I'm on with you right now. I'm going to take it to Vegas. And
don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Don't bring a game to Vegas. They're going to miss out on the masquerade and all that stuff. Okay. Unless you want to burn the midnight oil. It's I don't want to sleep. So I'm just going to play video. I'm going to grind my dailies.
I've been to this convention a lot, and I was just worried that maybe, there'll be some time in the room or whatever.
But if you're gaming, you're not buying me drinks.
Wow.
You see, there's priorities here. You have to do my dailies.
Sure. I could just call down on my room number and say charge it to the room number.
Or nightlies, for that matter. There's no time in Vegas.
I'll buy you a drink. I'll buy you a drink.
Okay, good enough.
One single drink.
Yeah.
You guys know that there were times in Las Vegas that there was 1 year that I didn't sleep for 48 hours straight.
Wow.
It can be done.
I don't advise it. I was working for a lot of that, but yeah.
That's the kind of tired where your teeth feel tired, right?
Probably, take a nap. I got really loopy.
It can happen.
Right about hour 23, it'll automatically shut off. So for me, I could never do the 48. But yeah.
Properly motivated. You can burn that. You can burn that last warp plasma in the engines if you have to.
True.
Right.
Well, sorry we won't see you there this time, Holly, but I'm thinking of going to that Chicago one too. So that sounds like that'll be a lot of fun.
Chicago in August, from a weather standpoint.
April, right?
Chicago in August from just purely based on weather sounds much funner than Vegas in August. You've walked outside the convention hall in Vegas in August, and it's like walking into an oven. It's so uncomfortable. So
I know. Although one time it was raining like crazy, so
it's part of.
I remember that year.
Yeah.
It's part of the experience, though. I mean, you walk out of the convention center, and you're right into Vulcan.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, let's go. We're gonna go to Delta Vega instead. I mean, I've never been to Chicago, but I've been told in April there might still be snow on the ground. I'm like, well, that's a complete 180.
I did a layover at O'Hare in March, and there was snow, so maybe it depends on the time in April. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you there, my friend.
Yeah, we'll see you there, and enjoy the rest of your show.
All right, thanks, Dave. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
All right.
No, Chicago. I'm excited about Chicago.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. What are you looking forward to most at that convention?
I think I'm looking forward to. I mean, again, they've done one show already, but doing one show is very different than the amount of shows that Creation have done. I'm looking forward to sort of a different perspective on how the convention is executed, I guess.
Yeah. Like a format or a flow, or like just the way it's all presented.
Yeah, because I feel like I have not been on the cruise, but I've helped plan the cruise before, and I feel like even that is sort of a different take. I'm really hoping that they continue, that ReadPop continues sort of the STEM programming that we started doing. I had Phil Plate come in the year that right after the convention, there was going to be an eclipse, literally like a week after. And Phil Plate, who is the bad astronomer, for those of you guys who don't know, he had like an existing presentation, and I really rallied to get him there to put this. They continued doing all of this STEM stuff even after I left CBS, which I was very happy about. There was one year that they had a woman that did a whole presentation on space law, which is a thing. And I was like, maybe that's going to be super boring. And it was so interesting.
I bet.
So I hope that they continue that. I've also had guys come out from JPL at, NASA Jet Propulsion Lab up here in Pasadena, just north of me. So, I hope that they continue doing that, because I love that stuff, and I think that it's the right audience. Yeah, I don't know.
So they cover stuff like eminent domain in space, like going out there and claiming things as under the banner of someone's nationalism.
Yeah, and she was mostly talking about the moon, because that's sort of the only place we've been. I mean, we've been to Mars, but not really. We've sent robots to Mars, as far as we know. But it was a really interesting panel. I really love, because I feel like most of the people that go to the conventions are already science minded, and I do recall people being sort of surprised that kind of programming was doing so well. And I was like, I don't know why you're surprised. Like, these are the kinds of people that come to, like, why it's a sci-fi show. Why they're science minded. That's why they're watching it.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest thing for Chicago. Like, I really want them to, because I think that the things that are obvious, like obviously they're going to have actors, obviously they're going to have, directors, producers, composers. I feel like that's the norm, but I love STEM stuff.
I want to have, I'm hoping to have, this is just kind of like, I'm putting it out there. I'm hoping to have a discussion, if she's there, with Dr. Erin McDonald, because I have my whole threshold theory, and I've like done like all of this research on like quantum singularity and superposition.
Yeah. I mean, she's the science advisor for the entire franchise. Like, she'll be there.
Yeah. So I want to show her how unprepared I am to talk about it, but how enthusiastic I am to talk about it.
Are you going to dial it to a 15?
I am. I'm going to take it to at least a 15.2, at least, because I love watching Threshold. Maybe it's because so many people don't, but it's because I see like the theory and what happened, and it's not just about like the lizard babies and kind of like the really quick, resolution at the end, but the possibility of going to transwarp and then entering this quantum state of superposition where Paris was everything and everywhere at the same time, and seeing his consciousness explode into every single molecule and every single permutation of existence and time. I know. I'm really excited. I've like read papers on this stuff, and I have no real interest in quantum theory or physics or anything like that. It's just this particular topic that I'm totally infatuated with.
And I hope she's there, and I hope you get to talk. I'm sure she'll be there. I'm sure she'll be there.
So that's out there. I'm putting it out there.
Are you manifesting it?
That's my big wish. I'm willing it into the universe, and I'm gonna enter my transwarp state and make it happen. I'm gonna solidify that in my thoughts.
Okay.
That's what happens when I think about Threshold. I don't know. It's just,
Threshold is such a wacky episode.
It is. It's wacky, and I think I can't wait to do it for Mission Log, because I'm going to ask John, like, we got to do this in a two-parter. We're going to do it in the action. We're going to do it in the. We're going to cover it in like the 1 hour segment that we have, and then I'm begging him, like, let me do a supplemental. Let me do a supplemental on the papers that I've written so far for myself on it.
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
No, I look forward to it. All right.
Uh-oh. Okay. I thought you paused for a second. I'm like, no. But we are at the end. We are at the end of this episode. And I hope everyone has had a good time, kind of like getting reintroduced to like what we're doing and what we're talking about and the energy that we're going to bring to the back half of this year, because we're encroaching on August, and we are closing third quarter into the fourth quarter. A lot of stuff happens between now and the end of the year. You know, you have holiday season. You have a lot of, like I said, convention travel is starting to happen again. People are starting to burn the last days of their vacation. And then, September rolls around and you have school, and then you have sports. You have all these different events that take all your time. And then we get new Star Trek. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot that we're going to talk about. And we're so excited to be back here in the chairs for you, and talking to you and seeing you all here. This is a fantastic community. Everyone in the chat has been so fantastic. The comments have been coming a mile a minute. That the comment section has been dialed up to a 15, I think.
Is that the theme for tonight? I guess we made that the theme. Dial it to a 15, folks.
Dial it to a 15. Someone make that a t-shirt. And give it to Holly next time you see her in Chicago. All right. Dial it to a 15. There's one thing, though, I think that we wanted to get to. I was wondering if you could just touch on the daily Star Trek news note that we had.
Oh, yeah, because daily Trek news. Shout out to those folks. Mm-hmm. So there's a few things that have come out in the last week or so. So there's going to be a book, the Book of Grudge, which I feel like most people know. That's the kitty. The kitty.
Yeah.
In Discovery. Disco Space Cat. Also, Playmates has the license back for Star Trek. So we're going to get more Playmates toys, which is a blast from the past. I think a lot of old school Trekkies have like at least one little Playmates toy, right?
Warehouses of them.
This is exciting for me. Also, Star Trek 4 for the 35th anniversary. Fathom Events is doing some screenings in theaters. I'm sort of sad that it's still kind of in the middle of COVID, but I appreciate it.
I think it's great. I think it's great. I think that if you feel safe and you feel comfortable going to one of those events, I did the Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan event.
So did I.
With William Shatner. I did that in New Jersey with my best friends, Todd and his brother, Russ. These guys I've known for years. I apologize to anyone who was in that crowd, because I took my participation to the next level. I MST 3K'd that to a 15, like big time. And the people that were around me, I'm not sure if they appreciated my passion for that movie.
Well, I mean, they're in the theater with you watching it. I hope they would appreciate it.
I know. I did the whole thing. It's like, sir, our shields are dropping. Raise them. I can't. Where's the override? I mean, I did the whole thing, and people are just turning around like, what? If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you can't get on this level, I don't know why you're in this theater. But that's where I was after like 5-10 fingers of whiskey. That was that night.
Oh, that's a lot of whiskey. I would be blacked out.
What else could it was a good time. Anywho, thank you so much for being here, Holly. It's a pleasure to see you again. Really is.
Too. Thank you for inviting me back. It's always fun to talk about Star Trek for an hour.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, if anyone can filibuster like this kind of stuff, I know that you can filibuster this kind of stuff.
That's just because I have random information.
But it's good. You got to let that stuff out, like the pensieve.
I mean, in any other aspect of life, most of it is useless. So I'm glad that I have an outlet in which it's like, oh, that's interesting. Thanks, guys.
Well, tonight it was absolutely pivotal, monumental, useful. Mission Log Live is produced by Roddenberry Entertainment, executive producer Rod Roddenberry. Technical production on Mission Log Live is done by the Insouciant Bill Green. I didn't write that.
Yeah, all right, that's a word.
Yeah. I believe it's French. Be sure to visit podcast.roddenberry.com for the latest from Roddenberry Podcasts. And if you'd like to support Mission Log directly, give us a look at patreon.com/Mission Log. Thank you to everyone who joined us live here and turned it up to a 15, or will join us later. You only get a 14. Stay safe, stay healthy. We look forward to talking with you next week.